Hi, I'm Nicholas Spurling. Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. Today I have some very exciting news for you. I am starting a number of different brands and I'm kicking it off at the beginning of 2021. It's a fresh start. I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to find work that I love to do, that I can do on an ongoing basis that's going to pay the bills so that I can live my best life. And that's what I'm hoping to start today. I lost my job near the end of last year. So I'm going to share these ambitions with you today, and I would love to have your support. I just want to start off by acknowledging that although I'm doing all of this work to build up my brands, I'm also working with a friend's company to sell a game-changing product called Zuno. I'm not going to go into details about this. If you're interested in learning more, it's a cleaning product that will last for 30 days that will help to stop the spread of COVID. So that's really exciting. But like I said, that's not what this video is about. So if you want more information on that, it'll be on my website in the description down below. But to start with, I will tell you about my company, NES Design Construction. Now, this is not a new company. I've been running this company since 2011, but it is my bread and butter per se. So it is the longest running of my businesses, and it's one that I've been very passionate about over the years, although it's one that is shifting as of the beginning of this year. I'm having logos done up for all of my different brands, and that hasn't happened yet. So you will see a little bit of rebranding in the future, but NES has been sort of that company that has kept my life fairly stable throughout the years when I haven't had employed work. So I'm really excited to keep doing that, but unfortunately I have bad shoulders. I'm waiting on surgery, and because of that I can't do all of the labor work that I used to be able to do. So I'll still take on some projects like that myself, but I'll also have to contract out some projects, and that's absolutely fine. One of the pieces of my company that I enjoy the most is the project management side of things. So I'm going to focus more on the project management side of things, and also on drafting and permit writing, which are two things that I'm good at and that I enjoy. So if you live in the Lower Mainland, even if you live a little bit further but you have a larger project, please let me know, because that's one of the things that I'm doing. It's a construction company and I try to take care of all aspects of construction, typically on the renovation side of things. The second one that I have on the go is something that I've viewed as a hobby up until recently, and that is the artwork that I make. You'll see some of the artwork behind me on this wall. I've got my entire wall in my living room covered in this, and I have piles of it on top of that, and it's just sitting around. So I thought, well, I might as well sell it or sell prints for it, or make some new art and possibly give it away through this channel, through some of my other social media. I'm looking at a few options for that, but it's called NES Spurling Design. And I'm really excited about this because drawing is something that I could just do forever and not get tired of. I absolutely love drawing, so that's something that I'm really hoping to do more of. If you want to commission a piece, if you want to buy something that's existing either in print form or original form, that's something that, again, just like NES, just like all of the businesses I'm mentioning today, including that Zuno product at the beginning, it's all going to be in my website, in the link below, and you can check it all out from there. And I would love it if you checked it out, because I put a lot of time into creating this, and this is my dream. This is what I'm hoping to do with my life. I also just want to point out that I'm not good about sharing my dreams, because I typically, in the past, have only talked about things once I've accomplished them. This is something that I'm going into saying this is what I want, and I know that I may fail. So that's a very scary position to be in, because I don't like to admit that I can fail. I don't like people to see me failing. So that's hard for me, but I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, because I believe that putting your goals out into the universe is the best way to receive something in return in terms of growth of the business and people's support. I like supporting other people. I hope that other people will support me in this venture. So that's about it for NES Spurling Designs, but it's something that, like I said, I love to do. I've been doing this since I was a kid, and I'm just really excited to transition from hobby into more of an official artist position. Another business that I want to talk about very, very briefly, because it doesn't really pertain to this period in time, but that's something that I've called Spurling Speaks, and it's public speaking. I've been doing this since 2015, 2016, where I've spoken at Pride events, at schools, at HR roundtables, at a variety of different events, and it's something that I'm quite good at. I've had a lot of practice on the radio, public speaking, and this is something that I want to do more full-time. It's not something I've advertised, but just because of name recognition, teachers have reached out to me and asked me to teach their classes about LGBTQ2+ issues, and that's something I really enjoy doing, but it's also something that I think is very important in order to make sure that children are growing into accepting, inclusive adults. So that's really important for me. Like I said, you can't really do anything during COVID because I can't go to schools and do things in person. So right now I have a video up on my website that's going to provide some sort of information about LGBTQ2+ issues. It's sort of a condensed version of the presentation that I would often give in schools. And once things reopen post-COVID, then I'll be looking at getting into this a little bit more seriously. Now finally, the last business that I want to talk to you about is called IPP, which is Inclusive Policies and Practices. And I call it that because the work that I do, and I've been doing this again since 2015, 2016, is to work with organizations to make sure that they are addressing diversity in the workplace and inclusion, that they have proper planning for all of their workers, and that policies and practices are updated, so making sure there's gender neutral language and that people generally understand what it is to be a trans person, a person of color, a lesbian. And obviously I can't speak from personal experience to all of these different things, but because of the work that I've done around diversity and inclusion, a lot of that crosses over, and so companies will typically approach me to speak about LGBTQ2+ issues, but more broadly will generally have a conversation around diversity and inclusion as a whole. So that, again, I want to promote because I think it's very important work, and it's not work that I've advertised in the past. It's just been my reputation that has caused organizations to reach out to me and work with me. And like I mentioned before, I've also attended HR roundtables so that I can speak to members of a variety of different organizations at once. Not quite as effective because they then have to relay that information, but I love to see companies taking steps to making sure that their offices are more inclusive, and I've had some really good conversations with people about that. So again, work that I'm hoping to continue. Now you might notice a theme to all of this work, and that it's a lot of it can be done remotely. So I plan on spending the majority of my time in the Lower Mainland, but I want to set up my work so that I could be in my van somewhere else, still being able to get all of my work done, and that's something that I'm working towards. Or if I have a project that's further away from the Lower Mainland and I want to make a little bit of a trip for it, that's something that I'm open to, because one of my great passions is traveling, and traveling in my van, I feel like I have this sense of freedom. I can go anywhere that I want to go, but I want to make sure that I have some sort of income that I can rely on, and I also want to be doing the things that I love to do for work. So that's my ultimate goal in creating this video, is to spread that message to the universe. Hope that that brings me something in return, that I've mentioned something that maybe resonates with you, and that you would be interested in hiring me for my services, or telling your friends and family about my services so that they know that there is a trans lesbian woman that can do all of these different things. And if you want to be supportive of the queer community, that's fantastic. But I'm also a very hardworking, very detail-oriented person who you can rely on for these jobs, and you don't have to hire me just because I'm part of that community. I know that's how many people know me, but I would hope that you would also want to hire me because I'm very good at my job. So I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time. I hope I haven't bored you with all of this, but this is exciting for me. It's something that I really want to share. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to me. Again, check out my website in the description down below, and also follow me on social media at Nick E. Spurling on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm on all of these different platforms, and I'm going to be promoting these businesses on those platforms as well. As always, if you like this kind of content, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button, and make sure you click that bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. And until next time, have a great day.